Have you ever thought that some familiar vegetables might be quietly making your heart weaker each day, according to data from the American Heart Association? Up to 70% of people over the age of 60 have cardiovascular disease, and many do not realize that part of the cause comes from the very vegetables they believe are healthy. After turning 60, your body begins to change. Your kidneys filter less effectively, your heart becomes more vulnerable, and the interaction between food and medication becomes far more complex. Some people eat salad every day, drink green smoothies, avoid fried food, and still feel tired. Short of breath or experience swollen legs, the problem is not with vegetables themselves, but with the choices we make, how we prepare them, and how much we consume. In today's story, I will walk you through 10 vegetables that can harm your heart if eaten the wrong way, along with simple tips to help you protect your health each day. If you are over 60, please take a few minutes to watch. It may help you live more comfortably with a healthier heart. Where are you watching from? Feel free to leave a comment below. When you were younger, your body could handle all types of vegetables without any problem, but after the age of 60, your body no longer functions as smoothly as it used to. Your digestion slows down. Kidney and liver function gradually decline. Heart medications begin to take effect. And at this stage, even seemingly harmless vegetables can become a burden if not consumed properly. A plate of raw kale rich in vitamin K, a glass of beet juice high in potassium, or a few cloves of raw garlic to prevent colds. All of these can be beneficial in certain amounts, but they may also greatly affect your heart rate, blood pressure, or interact with medications you take daily. This might sound hard to believe, but it is entirely backed by evidence. According to research from Tufts University, about 48% of high blood pressure cases in seniors are related to eating foods that seem healthy but contain too much sodium, potassium, or oxalate for the kidneys to process out. In addition, some raw vegetables can cause bloating and gas in the intestines, which may press against the diaphragm and affect the heart and lungs, making you feel tired after meals. Many people think that eating more vegetables is always the best choice. But the truth is that after 60, it is not just about eating vegetables. It is about eating the right kinds, in the right amounts, and prepared the right way. Vegetables are still an essential part of a healthy diet, but they must be chosen based on your current health condition, the medications you take, and your body's ability to absorb nutrients. Once you understand this, you will avoid many hidden risks that are rarely discussed. So which specific vegetables are quietly harming the hearts of older adults? Let's find out next. 1. Canned sweet corn. Many people believe that corn is a healthy and easy-to-eat vegetable, even bringing a sense of comfort like a warm family meal. However, canned sweet corn is one of the foods that can quietly harm the heart of older adults. The reason lies in the added sodium and sugar during the canning process. Even if you pour out the liquid, the salt and sugar have already soaked into the kernels. 1 can of sweet corn can contain more than 600 milligrams of sodium, which is nearly half the recommended daily limit for people over 60. When your body no longer filters sodium as well as before, this amount of salt can lead to water retention, increased blood pressure, and more strain on the heart. I remember a patient named Charles from Indiana, 81 years old, who came in complaining of swollen legs and chest heaviness after dinner. After removing canned corn from his meals and switching to steamed fresh corn with no added salt, his blood pressure dropped within 2 weeks, and his fatigue noticeably improved. Corn is not the problem, but after 60, how it is prepared and the amount of sodium it contains are things to watch closely. If you enjoy eating corn, choose fresh or unsalted frozen corn, and always check the nutrition label before buying. 2. French fries. Potatoes are vegetables, but once deep fried, they become a burden for the heart. After the age of 60, your body digests fat more slowly, and reused frying oils often contain trans fats, which are known to inflame blood vessels, raise the risk of arterial plaque, and contribute to heart failure. A small serving of French fries can contain up to 800 milligrams of sodium, plus all the frying oil, making your heart work harder to pump blood through stiff and narrowed arteries. I recall Mrs. Gloria, 76 years old, a retired librarian in Ohio. She did not snack often, but she ate French fries twice a week at a local diner. As a result, she developed ankle swelling, higher blood pressure, and shortness of breath when walking. After switching to baked sweet potatoes or steamed potatoes, seasoned lightly with salt and herbs, her blood pressure dropped by 10 points, and her shortness of breath disappeared in just 3 weeks. If you are eating French fries as a snack or side dish, it may be time to reconsider. After 60, your heart needs relief, not more burden from fat and salt each day. 3. Red chili peppers. A little spice can make a meal more flavorful, but for older adults, red chili peppers can overstimulate the sympathetic nervous system, causing a rapid heartbeat, increased blood pressure, and a higher risk of irregular heart rhythms. The compound capsaicin in chili triggers the release of adrenaline, which raises the heart rate and constricts blood vessels. This is not ideal when your blood vessels are no longer as flexible as they were in your younger years. Mr. Bill, 74 years old, living in New Mexico, loved spicy food. He added chili to everything from eggs to soup. When he began feeling tired and noticed irregular heartbeats after dinner, we ran an ECG and found that his heart rate spiked after each spicy meal. After replacing chili with milder spices like basil, turmeric, roasted garlic, and lemon, his symptoms almost completely disappeared within a month. Spicy food is not the enemy, but if you are over 60 and often experience facial flushing, palpitations, or headaches after eating spicy meals, take it as a warning sign from your body. Sometimes, cutting back a little on the heat is the best way to help your heart beat steadily and calmly each day. 4. Raw garlic. Garlic is widely trusted as a natural remedy to boost immunity and support heart health. However, eating raw garlic daily while taking blood thinners or aspirin can make your blood too thin, leading to dizziness, low blood pressure, or even internal bleeding. After the age of 60, your liver and kidneys no longer process substances as efficiently, so the combined effect of garlic and medication becomes more dangerous. Mrs. Helen, 77 years old, a retired nurse from Virginia, used to eat 2 cloves of raw garlic every morning as part of a family tradition. After a few months, she frequently felt lightheaded and once fainted while folding laundry. Tests showed that her blood was too thin and her blood pressure was low, caused by combining raw garlic with daily aspirin. When we advised her to stop eating raw garlic and instead use cooked garlic in well-prepared meals, her condition stabilized within just 2 weeks. Garlic is still beneficial, but after 60, it should be used with proper care, just like any medicine. Do not let a habit you believe is good turn into a hidden danger for your heart. 5. Raw sprouts. At first glance, mung bean sprouts or broccoli sprouts may look fresh, crisp, and cooling. However, they can carry harmful bacteria such as E. coli or listeria, which are especially difficult for the weakened immune systems of older adults to handle. Raw sprouts grow in warm and moist conditions, the perfect environment for bacteria to thrive. When younger people eat them, they might experience only mild stomach discomfort, but for seniors, these bacteria can enter the bloodstream and cause infections in the heart or lungs. Mr. George, 69 years old, living in Minnesota, was once hospitalized with symptoms of fever, fatigue, and shortness of breath. Test results showed that he had a heart infection caused by eating a sandwich with uncooked alfalfa sprouts. After weeks of antibiotic treatment, he finally recovered. He said, "I never imagined that just a little bit of greens in my sandwich could nearly cost me my life." To stay safe, if you enjoy eating sprouts, be sure to blanch or stir-fry them quickly. This way, you retain their nutrients while removing harmful bacteria. After the age of 60, your immune system is no longer the strong shield it once was, so all raw vegetables must be prepared with extra care. 6. Leafy greens. Rich in vitamin K while taking blood thinners. Vegetables like spinach, kale, and broccoli are rich in vitamin K, which plays a role in blood clotting. But for those taking blood thinners such as warfarin, eating too many vitamin K-rich vegetables can reduce the medication's effectiveness, increasing the risk of blood clots and stroke. The problem is not the vegetables themselves, but the inconsistency in how much is consumed daily, which causes big fluctuations in vitamin and medication levels in the blood. I once met Mrs. Diane, 73 years old, a retired teacher from Pennsylvania who was being treated for atrial fibrillation and was on blood thinners. She ate a lot of leafy greens, believing they were good for her heart. However, her blood pressure dropped unpredictably, and tests showed that her blood clotting levels were unstable due to varying amounts of vitamin K in her diet. We did not ask her to stop eating greens, but simply to reduce the amount, spread them evenly throughout the week, and keep her intake consistent each day. As a result, her blood pressure became stable again, and the dizziness went away. Vitamin K is not harmful, but after the age of 60, consistency in your diet is the key to making medications work effectively and protecting your heart safely. 7. Raw cabbage. Cabbage is a common vegetable, easy to find and simple to prepare. But when eaten raw, especially in salads, cabbage can cause bloating and excessive gas, which may press against the diaphragm and place pressure on the heart and lungs. After the age of 60, digestion slows down and bowel movements become weaker. So high-fiber vegetables like raw cabbage can easily cause the stomach to swell after meals. This can lead to shortness of breath, fatigue, and a feeling of chest heaviness. Mr. Leonard, 75 years old, from Missouri, complained that after lunch he often felt chest tightness and needed to take deep breaths to feel better. It turned out he had been eating raw cabbage salad almost every day, thinking it was a clean food and helpful for weight loss. We advised him to switch to lightly boiled or stir-fried cabbage cooked with olive oil and a small amount of salt. After just 1 week, the discomfort after meals completely disappeared. Cabbage is not to blame, but the way your body processes it has changed significantly. If you have ever felt bloated, gassy, or tired after eating raw vegetables, take that as a signal to prepare them in a gentler way so your heart can breathe more easily. 8. Canned vegetables. High in salt carrots, green beans, peas. A can of peas or carrots may seem convenient and quick for any meal, but hidden inside is a large amount of sodium used for preservation, which is not visible to the eye. After the age of 60, your kidneys can no longer filter salt as efficiently, and excess sodium causes the body to retain water, increasing blood volume and putting more strain on the heart. Mr. Roy, 83 years old, from Georgia, lived alone but still cooked for himself and avoided fast food. However, his blood pressure remained high even though he was taking 2 medications. Eventually, when he brought in the vegetable can labels for his doctor to review, everything became clear. Each can contained more than 500 milligrams of salt, and he was eating a full can at each meal. After switching to unsalted frozen vegetables and learning to rinse canned vegetables under running water before cooking. His blood pressure went down and the swelling in his legs eased. Canned vegetables are not entirely bad, but always check the label carefully. Choose the kind labeled "no salt added" and rinse them well before eating. Your heart will thank you for easing that silent burden each day. 9. Vegetables. High in potassium and oxalates. When eaten in excess, beets, sweet potatoes, spinach. Many people believe that if a vegetable is good for you, then the more you eat, the better. But this is no longer true after the age of 60. Beets, spinach, and sweet potatoes are high in potassium and oxalates, two compounds that can put pressure on the kidneys and disrupt electrolyte balance when consumed in large amounts. Mr. Franklin, 79 years old, a music teacher who had once suffered a mild heart attack, switched to a fully plant-based diet with super healthy vegetables every day. After a few months, he began feeling tired, had muscle pain, and felt dizzy when standing up. Tests revealed elevated potassium levels and early signs of kidney strain. We did not tell him to stop eating vegetables, but guided him to adjust the amount and frequency. We also added lighter vegetables such as zucchini, green beans, and boiled carrots to his meals, and recommended dividing his meals into smaller portions. Within just 4 weeks, his health returned to normal. Vegetables are still the foundation of heart health, but eating too many rich in oxalates and potassium can lead to hidden imbalances in the body. Remember, after the age of 60, your health depends on moderation, not extremes. 10. Overeating, healthy vegetables without balance. Finally, the most common mistake lies in trying too hard to eat healthy. When you believe that kale, spinach, carrots, or beets are good, you tend to eat a lot of them every day. Sometimes forgetting that portion control is the most important factor for older adults. A diet full of vegetables but lacking in balance can lead to low energy, reduced medication absorption, and effects on liver enzymes, kidney function, and heart rhythm. Vegetables also contain many bioactive compounds, and if not properly managed, these can place a biochemical burden on the heart and blood vessels. I have met many people who drink green smoothies every morning, eat raw vegetable salads at lunch, and have vegetable soups for dinner, yet still feel tired, have cold hands and feet, and low blood pressure. The problem is not the vegetables themselves, but the lack of balance, poor food pairing, and not listening to the body. After 60, it is better to choose fewer types of vegetables, eat them consistently, and cook them thoroughly, rather than loading too many nutrients into a single meal. Do not let good things become harmful just because you put too much on your plate. After identifying the 10 vegetables that may be harmful if eaten the wrong way, the most important step is learning how to choose and prepare vegetables in a way that suits the body after age 60. Your heart does not need trendy superfoods or extreme eating habits. What it truly needs is stability, moderation, and simplicity. The first thing to focus on is selecting vegetables that are low in sodium, easy to digest, and gentle on the heart. Kidneys and blood vessels, steamed green beans, boiled carrots, soft stir-fried zucchini, cooked bok choy, well-cooked tomatoes, and unsalted boiled fresh corn are safe. Easy-to-prepare options that work well for those taking heart medications or managing high blood pressure. Second, proper preparation is the key. Raw vegetables may retain more vitamins, but many are hard to digest and place mechanical pressure on the heart and lungs. That is why, after 60, it is best to lightly steam, gently boil, or stir-fry with minimal oil, using digestive supporting spices like ginger, roasted garlic, turmeric, or cumin seeds. This method not only makes vegetables easier to digest, but also helps preserve antioxidants that protect the blood vessels. Third, avoid eating too many vegetables in one meal or focusing too heavily on just one type. Instead, rotate between different vegetables throughout the week. This allows your body to absorb a wide range of nutrients without being overwhelmed by a single group, such as potassium or oxalates. Eating vegetables daily, but in smaller portions at each meal, will reduce the workload on your heart and kidneys. For example, if you eat spinach in the morning, choose pumpkin or carrots for lunch, and green beans for dinner. Lastly, if you are taking heart medications, ask your doctor or pharmacist whether there are any vegetables you should limit or avoid eating together with your medicine. Food and drug interactions are very common, but they can be managed easily if you stay informed and ask the right questions. Many patients, once they understood this, simply spread their vegetable intake throughout the week without eliminating any type, and they maintained stable health for years. Eating vegetables the right way after age 60 is not difficult. All it takes is listening to your body, adjusting portion sizes, choosing safe cooking methods, and staying consistent instead of extreme. Remember, consistency and moderation are the greatest gifts you can give your heart each day. After the age of 60, your body has gone through millions of meals, hundreds of seasonal changes, and countless moments of stress, worry, and silent illness. Your heart has been working non-stop for decades, and now it deserves to be cared for wisely and gently. Through today's story, you have learned that even the healthiest vegetables can become risky if eaten the wrong way, in the wrong amount, or at the wrong time. But that does not mean you should feel afraid every time you walk into the kitchen. Just by switching one vegetable at dinner tonight, you can reduce the risk of bloating, shortness of breath, and help your heart beat more steadily each night. There is no perfect diet for everyone. But there is one simple rule for aging. Well, eat more slowly, choose more carefully, and listen more closely to your body. Start by picking vegetables that are easy to digest, low in salt, gently cooked, and spread evenly throughout the week. Do not chase after superfoods or fancy recipes. The greatest secret to longevity lies in being steady and consistent with the smallest things. If today you simply swap raw salad for steamed vegetables, or replace canned corn with boiled fresh corn without salt, you have already taken a big step forward. If you found today's content helpful, do not forget to subscribe to the channel for more videos about healthy meals, exercises, and herbal tips for older adults. What vegetables are you eating every day? Were you surprised by anything on today's list? Leave a comment below. I read every message, and I truly look forward to walking this journey of healthy living with you, one day at a time.